Salt Lake Bees baseball is on the air from the ballpark at America First Square. It's game 3 of the series between the Salt Lake Bees and the Omaha Storm Chasers. Tony Parks with you here in Daybreak. Allie Brathwaite, our statistician in the booth. Sammy Miller down on the field. And we are ready to go. Parker Long in our Zone Sports studios tonight. Thank you so much for being with us. The Bees have won 5 of the last 6, and they are surging. It's been the same recipe each time. Quality starts from several guys in the rotation, and that includes one of those quality starts from Dakota Hudson. He's on the mound for the Bees, 3-0, an ERA of 4.70. Took a shutout into the ninth at Sacramento last week and looks to pick up right where he left off. Salt Lake has taken the first 2 games of this series with a 6-5 and a 6-4 victory. Let's take a look now at the starting lineup for the Omaha Storm Chasers as they're managed by Mike Jerschley, 19-26 on the year. John Rave's going to lead it off in center field. Peyton Wilson hitting second, playing second. Right fielder Jack Caglianone is hitting third. Cam Devaney cleaning it up at short. Left fielder MJ Melendez bats fifth. The 6th hitter is the designated hitter, Tyler Gentry. Brian O'Keefe at catcher batting 7th. Nick Prado hitting 8th at first. And in the hot corner, Tyler Tolbert is batting 9th. The defensive alignment tonight for the Salt Lake Bees: Holland in left with Flint in center and Sanchez is in right. Davis at third, Stevens at shortstop, Christian Moore at second, Nico Cavadas at first, Chucky Robinson behind the dish, and on the mound it is Dakota Hudson. In 4 of the last 5 victories, Salt Lake scored exactly 6 runs, but they don't always need that number to come through with a win. As Dakota Hudson proved that, holding the River Cats scoreless through 8 in that last start. The umpires for tonight's game: Steven Jaczynski behind the plate, Tanner Moore at first, Steven Rios Jr. is the umpire at third. John Rave leading it off for Omaha, gets into the left-hand batter's box. He steps in. It's the Bees, it's the Storm Chasers. It's a Thursday night. We're at the ballpark, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be. First pitch pops in there. It's a strike, 0-1. 6:36 is our first pitch time, and away we go. Another beautiful evening here in Daybreak. 78 degrees at first pitch, 0-1. Drops in there for a strike, 0-2. Boy, Dakota Hudson. He was on the brink of putting together what would have been the franchise's first complete game shutout since 2016. That game also happened against Sacramento. 0-2 pitch. Rave swings and misses, strike 3, foul tipped into the glove. 1 down. That's the way to start this party if you're Dakota Hudson. And now Peyton Wilson will step in. Peyton Wilson 1 for 4 in last night's game. Hitting 200 in the short time that he's had with Omaha. That includes a double and 4 runs batted in. In at third is Davis. He's on the grass. The rest of the infield tilted to the right. Here comes the pitch. And it's bounced foul up into the runner's lane. Rolling to the first baseman, Cavadas, 0-1. Peyton Wilson started the year with a 14-game hit streak. No balls, 1 strike, 1 down. Robinson sinking down with the glove below the knees of Wilson. Hudson winds, fires, and the 0-1 is bounced to the right side. Second baseman Moore charging, has it. Sidearm throw to first, softly in time. 2 up, 2 down. Well, and for the Salt Lake Bees, mentioned how well Hudson pitched last time. That was Hudson's first quality start at the AAA level since April 13th of 2023. And this series started with 2 quality starts. Jake Eater in game 1, Victor Medeiros last night. Here's Jack Caglianone. First pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Number 1 prospect, the Kansas City Royals organization. Caglianone 2 for 5 last night. He hammered 1 ball at 114 miles an hour. Here comes the 1-0. Foul back to the screen, and it's at a ball and a strike. That quality start for Medeiros last night. What the ultimate team performance, I thought. He was hit hard early and often in that game. 5 of the first 6, 104 miles an hour or more. And A huge reason why he was able to minimize the damage. Great work behind him. This is popped up behind home plate. The catcher Robinson loses the mask, drifting over by the third base on deck circle, makes the catch. And it's a quiet 1-2-3 inning for Omaha. No score, bottom one. Yolmer Sanchez is going to lead it off for the Bees in right field. Batting second, the second baseman Christian Moore. Nico Cavadas hits third at first base. J.D. Davis cleaning it up at third. Shortstop Chad Stevens bats fifth. Chucky Robinson in the sixth spot as the catcher. Center fielder Tucker Flint's going to hit seventh. Zach Humphreys the DH in the eighth spot. And Corey Holland, the left fielder, is batting ninth. And the defensive alignment for Omaha: Melendez in left, Grave in center, Caglianone in right, Tolbert at third, Devaney at short, Wilson at second with Prado at first. O'Keefe behind the dish, and the first pitch high from Nate Ackenhausen. Nate Ackenhausen, his first professional start. 15th appearance overall in his career. Here comes the 1-0. Grounded sharply, but right to the third baseman Tolbert, who goes down to get it, pops up, throws low to first. Nice dig there by Prado. 5-3 the putout, one down. They'll bring up Christian Moore. Now Tolbert over there in the hot corner had to go to his left a bit. That ball was pretty well struck. And a sinking low throw, but Prado fielded that very easily. Christian Moore, 4 for 8 in this AAA debut series. 1 for 4 last night. Lifts this on a lofting, looping line drive into center. It's down for a base hit. Christian Moore, a one-out single, his 5th knock here this week. He had a three-hit performance in the opener of this series, and on top of that, he drove in a pair of runs. He reached base 4 times. Last night was the first time he had any kind of activity defensively. It was a part of a double play. Has a putout so far tonight. Here's Nico Cavadas. 0 for 3 last night with a walk. 1 for 8 the series. Nico takes low. The count's at 1-0. 10th game this season for Ackenhausen. His second with Omaha. Pitched a scoreless 2 innings, walked 3, struck out 3, gave up just a hit against Columbus. For Nico Cavadas, he has reached base 18 straight games. He has a walk in 7 of his last 8. Left-hand batter ready. And for Nico Cavadas, batting .234 on the year, 9 doubles, racking it up with 9 homers and 28 runs batted in. Misses for a ball. Nico Cavadas, who comes into tonight, guy that has really been able to show his versatility defensively. They've had him at a number of different positions. Tonight he's at first base. He's played some more in the outfield. 2-0. It's in there for a strike, 2-1. He robbed the home run out in right field at Sacramento, the #1 play on SportsCenter. Big tip of the hat to him for what was a fabulous play, but the way he tracked that ball down so well. Corey Holland had a similar catch out in right in this series, just that the wall's higher. 2-1. And misses down, and the count's at 3 balls and a strike. As Corey talked about it, he just said his ability to anticipate, read the ball so well, time his leap just right. 3-1. Cavadas swings and misses. Took a big cut there, and the count's full of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Signals being given by the manager, Keith Johnson of the Bees. He's also the third base coach. He's looking out to left field while signaling over to the runner at first, Christian Moore. Cavadas, left-hand batter ready. The lefty, Ackenhausen, kicks, fires, and it's lifted to the opposite way down the line in left. Melendez giving chase over by the rising sidewall, disappears behind the wall, and it is foul. He not only disappears behind the wall, he disappears into the shadows. So they are dark down there. This ballpark, as we've talked about, especially when the game starts, the sunlight is actually still along the mound. Sometimes shoulder high for the pitcher in the sun, the rest of them in the shade, and then the shadows just kind of merge their way out from the infield and then on to the outfield. Comes the 3-2 to Nico Cavadas, but a throw over to first, and back in standing up is Christian Moore. The Bees, 3 homers last night that tied their season high. And while during this stretch of winning 5 out of 6, they haven't put up some 15-run performance. Cavadas fouls it high and over our heads in our broadcast spot, but over everything and out of play. They don't have a performance like that. However, they score 4 or more runs. They're 20-10. When they score 3 or fewer, winless at 0-16. Here comes the 3-2. Cavadas fouls it straight back to the screen. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Bees batting .342 in this series. And while they have now been victorious in 5 of the last 6, the Angels have been hot. They won their 7th in a row this afternoon. Had to come from behind to do it, a storm late. 3-2, off speed in there, called strike 3. Stealing second on the play is Moore, sliding in with a head first dive, and he's safe. First stolen base here at the AAA level for Christian Moore. So 2 out, and Moore is in scoring position. Brings up J.D. Davis. J.D. Davis, boy, what a night for him last night. 3 for 3, 2 home runs, scored 3 times. He's 3 for 6 in this series, and he has reached base 6 times. Davis takes for ball 1. J.D. Davis, that was the first multi-home run performance at the AAA level for him since August 17th, 2018. It was a game at Tacoma. 1-0. It's down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. J.D. Davis now hitting at .306 on the year. 5 doubles, 4 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Holding from the stretch is Ackenhausen. The lead at second base, Christian Moore. The pitch, off speed and drops in there for a strike, 2-1. No score in this bottom of the first inning. Dakota Hudson retired Omaha 1-2-3 in the top half of the first. Walking to his lead out at second is Moore. Coming set from just above the belt is Ackenhausen. The pitch, swing and a miss, Davis. The count's 2-2. Well, just a stellar night like that for Davis. And the guy who hit the first home run ever in the history of this ballpark, a grand slam. You can see that opposite field power. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Davis takes inside, the pitch in the river between the plate and the batter's box. The count's now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. But all of his home runs in this ballpark have been to just about the same exact area, right along that line, by that 385 sign. Here comes the 3-2. Davis takes ball 4. That's the 3rd time this week he's reached by a walk. So J.D. Davis aboard. Bees with runners at first and second. 2 down. Here comes Chad Stevens. When Chad Stevens been hitting the ball hard a lot lately, he homered last night. Also had a triple. 3 multi-hit games over his last 4. And for the first time in his career, had back-to-back games with a 3-bagger. 4 for 9 in this series. Right-hand batter ready. 2 out. The pitch. It's up and away, ball 1. Chad Stevens, a .229 hitter with runners in scoring position. Batting .297 overall in the year. 5 doubles, 3 homers, 6 home runs. Here comes the 1-0. Stevens lines it right to third. Tolbert, a step to his left, snagged it. No score, top of 2. The Bees at Omaha in game number 3. For the first time of the night, we check in with our own Sammy Miller.
Tony, Bees starting pitcher Dakota Hudson, growing up had a built-in best friend as well as a prime competitor in his older brother Hunter. Now these two were absolutely battling in the backyard 24/7, and this is where Dakota really shaped into who he is as both a player and a person. Their father Sam said he loved how Dakota really learned how to not be afraid to play against people who are older than you and maybe more talented and skilled, and Dakota has really taken that mindset throughout his entire career as he was an ace on the pitching staff of Mississippi State, and then of course has had an incredible MLB career. But let's see if he can continue this tear. He went a quick 3 up, 3 down. We love this great rhythm that he's putting this offense in for the Bees, Tony.
And you're right about the tempo that he goes with as the 0-1 is lined out to left field by Devaney, down towards the line and cut off by Holland. Rounding first, putting on the brakes after a wide turn is Devaney. And he starts the second. with a leadoff single. The tempo Hudson pitched with in the game against Sacramento was huge, and it helped set the tone for him and for the game. He pitched a 1-2-3 first, but Cam Devaney is no joke. That guy is 5th in the International League in home runs, 5th in runs batted in, batting just a shade under 300 coming into tonight. Here's MJ Melendez. Melendez flies this out towards left. Not deep enough though. Holland, about 10 feet in front of the track, makes the catch. Tagging and bluffing at first base was Devaney, and the throw was coming in. Nice pick by Moore. If that gets by him, Devaney may be able to get to second. So Melendez flies out to left, 1 out, 1 on, and here's Tyler Gentry. Gentry did not play in yesterday's game. Reached base twice to open this series, but it was because he was hit by a pitch and walked. He was 0 for 2 in the series opener. Big hole right side, no score, top 2. Bounced foul as it dribbles its way slowly in front of the dugout of the Omaha Storm Chasers. Each of the last 5 wins for the Bees, it has featured a quality start. The starting pitchers in those games have an ERA of 2.53. Hudson going from the stretch. Out to his lead at first, Devaney, 2 for 3 stealing bases this year. Holding from the chest, Hudson, and he fires. It's a hard hit ground ball right back up towards the middle. Moore has it behind the bag, steps on the bag, throws to first in time, and the inning is over. 4-3, the double play. And Dakota Hudson, for the second inning in a row, has faced the minimum 3 in the frame. We have no score. We go to the bottom of 2 right here on the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome back to the ballpark at America First Square. No score between the Bees and the Storm Chasers here tonight. Ackenhausen was expected to come out pitch the first, and it is Luinder Avila who is now on for the Storm Chasers. And for Avila, 2-2 on the year, a 4.74 ERA, 38 innings of work, 21 runs, 20 of them earned, 16 walks, 44 punch-outs, and opponents batting .218 against him on the season. He'll face Chucky Robinson to lead off the bottom of the second. The Bees threatened, had some hard hit balls, but did not score back in the first. Robinson, who did not play last night, was 2 for 4 in Tuesday night's battle. Handling the catching duties tonight. Avila kicks and fires, and Robinson started after it, pulled back, held up. Did he go? No. And the count's at 1-0. Avila, 6'3" right-hander from Venezuela. Holds from just above the belt, the 1-0. Robinson taps it slowly up the third base side and foul. Count's now 1-1. Chucky Robinson, 277 hitter on the year. 4 doubles, 2 triples, 1 homer, 16 runs batted in. Last night for the Bees, as the 1-1 is low, Salt Lake got their 5th victory of the year when being out-hit. Robinson ready. Here's the pitch from Avila, and it's beneath the knees, 3-1. His pitching staff for the Omaha Storm Chasers, 3rd in the International League in strikeouts with 445. 3-1. Robinson takes downstairs, ball 4. That's the way to start off the frame. Robinson is just 4 for 25 when leading off an inning. Brings up Tucker Flint. And Tucker Flint has loved playing here at this ballpark, batting .375 at home, 245 overall on the season. Lefty ready, corners in, middle infielders back. The pitch, Flint, hard hit, 2 bouncer to the second baseman Wilson. Throws to second for 1. Devaney on to first, not in time. Good hustle up the line there by Flint. With Wilson having to move to his left a little bit to go get it, he still had time for sure to get the lead runner, but it was going to be tough to turn and toss to get both. Still a great effort by Devaney at short, but 1 out, runner at first. Flint aboard with a fielder's choice. Here's Zach Humphreys, first appearance in the series. Humphreys batting .236 on the year, 6 doubles, 14 runs batted in. Flint to lead at first, the pitch. At the belt for a called strike, 0-1. Flint 1 for 1 stealing bases on the year. He sidesteps to his lead over there, hands on his hips. Now his right arm dangling down. The 0-1 from Avila is in there on the outside part of the plate, 0-2. And for the Bees, a win here tonight would clinch at least a split of this series. They split their first series here at home, lost the next two. 0-2. Downstairs, blocked by the catcher O'Keefe, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. The Bees won a series earlier this year as at Albuquerque. It was a 5-gamer because the finale was washed out due to bad weather. And so the Bees took the series 3-2. But it's been a long time since they won a series in a 6-game set. 1-2 was low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was back in the end of July last year. It was actually the series where Mike Trout was featured in the opener. It was over Pioneer Day week. And the Bees, they didn't just win that series, they swept the 6-gamer against the El Paso Chihuahuas. Throw over to first and back in with a head first line is Tucker Flint. 1 out, 1 on. No score, bottom of 2. Humphreys, it feels like every double he's had and every run batted in that he's had has been oh so big. 2-2. Runner goes. Pitch face high, a ball. Throw down to second on target, but comes out on the tag. And sliding in safely is Tucker Flint. Well, a strong throw by the catcher O'Keefe, and it was Flint, the ball, and the glove all coming together, but I think Flint may have beat it anyway because Devaney had to snag that and wasn't in line at the moment with trying to make the catch and tag at the same time. Infield tilted to the left. Well off the bag at first is Prado. Here comes the 3-2 to Humphreys. Off speed, downstairs, ball 4, challenged. O'Keefe wants them to take another look at it.
The catcher's challenging the call ball.
Home plate umpire Steven Jashinsky with the announcement. We all take a look up at the video board, and it was down. Ball 4, nice peeps. Zach Humphreys. So Humphreys awards 2nd walk of the inning, 3rd issued overall today from the pitching staff of the Omaha Storm Chasers. Here's Corey Holland. Corey Holland was 1 for 4 back on Tuesday, but boy, what a magnificent catch that he had out there in right field. Holland was tracking a ball deep by the warning track, timed his lead beautifully, made a great catch, crashing into the wall, holding on. Runners with their leads at first and second, 1 down, bottom 2, Holland. First pitch takes a called strike 1. And that catch was so outstanding, but you could see he had it dialed in the entire way. When I had a chance to talk with him, I asked if he had any history as a wide receiver. And the answer is he does, as the 0-1 is down 1-1. But while he was better as a receiver, his high school coach moved him to corner because they had so many wide receivers to choose from. So reluctantly, he then would go on to play corner and played really well. Comes the 1-1. Holland takes at the knees for a strike, 1-2. So when they say, and I've never liked this phrase, but if he could catch, he wouldn't be playing corner, he'd be playing receiver. Well, this guy was definitely the exception to that because I'm sure he had some interceptions that were tough catches. The pitch in the dirt, blocked by the catcher O'Keefe. Runners hold at first and second. The count is 2-2 with 1 out. And this bottom of the second, a scoreless ball game. On another gorgeous night here at the ballpark at America First Square. But it is his receiver tactics and techniques that help him know exactly where he is on the field. 2-2, foul tipped into the glove, a heavy swing by Holland, but he's down on strikes. 2 out, 2 on. Top of the order, Yolmer Sanchez. Well, and Sanchi hit one hard. Tolbert made a nice play at third back in the first inning. Yolmer Sanchez with 2 on and 2 out. Batting from the left-hand side now, switch hitter. Playing right field tonight. Takes the first pitch, and it's ball 1. America First is proud to be the official credit union of the Bees with flexible account options, low-rate loans, and so much more. America First can help you reach any financial goal. So go to AmericaFirst.com to join the home team today. Sanchez bounces it foul through the first base coach's box, and it rolls its way behind the tarp. Jack Santora's going to have to try to go find that like it's some sort of Easter egg hunt. He's just going to leave it there. Count even 1-1. The lead at second base, Flint. The lead at first, Humphreys. And the pitch misses for ball one. It's now 2 balls and a strike. Flint standing in the sunlight when he's at the bag, and then moves his lead closer to the shadows. In the shadows is the runner at first, Humphreys. The pitch. Swing and a miss ahead of that one. And hung up in between second and third is Flint, running for third. The throw, slide tag, save! He beat the swipe tag from Tolbert. The throw beat him, the tag did not. Flint got a little too far off of second base. And suddenly with the throw going behind him said, you know what, I'm just going for it. The throw coming into third was a little wide and Tolbert had to range over to get it. And one reason why that throw may not have been on target is the throw down to second by O'Keefe was low to the ground and picked nicely by Devaney, but then he had to hurry, transfer, and get the throw over to third. So they're at the corners now, 2 down. The 2-2 to Yolmer Sanchez. Line drive, left side, foul off the netting above the third base dugout. The count will stay at 2-2. Well, that was a huge break for the Bees there, because that's a play where it looks like Omaha is about to get out of the inning. And then with 2 throws just a little bit off target, Flint is safe and the inning continues. The 2-2, runner goes. Sanchez takes for a ball. Pump fake to second, nobody covering. And scampering into second base is Humphreys. And so a knock here now for Yolmer Sanchez could play to pair. First base is open, but Christian Moore is on deck. Coming set is Avila. The 3-2. Sanchez swings and misses, strike 3, and the inning is over. 2 innings in the books. The Bees threatening the first and the second, but they don't score. We're scoreless, headed to the third on the KSL Sports Zone. O'Keefe 1 for 4 on Tuesday. 263 hitter when leading off an inning. That includes one of his 2 home runs on the season. Here comes the 0-1. Popped up, foul to the right side. And out of play. We mentioned the great pitching of the Bees. Timely hitting. The bullpen has been out of this world as well. And the Knights have been unbeatable, so join us this weekend. 0-2 is high. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Salute to Service coming your way Saturday. Fireworks after the game. And kiddos get to run the bases on the field afterward. And the Sunday afternoon games are absolutely terrific here. Here's the 1-2 to O'Keefe. Check swing. And O'Keefe turned around a bit to look at home plate umpire Steve Jashinsky, making sure that indeed he wasn't called out. It's 2-2. O'Keefe reaches the bat back ready. Here comes the 2-2. Pop fly, right field. Coming in, Sanchez, making sure Flint knows he's called off, and Sanchez will make the catch. For out number 1.
First baseman, number 35, Nick Prado.
Well, Dakota Hudson, who had the scoreless work through 8 innings in his last outing against Sacramento, as Nick Prado now steps in. Prado left-hand batter ready, no score, top 3, nobody on. Prado takes a called strike, 0-1. Prado 0 for 3 with a walk in last night's game. But Dakota Hudson goes mostly with the sinker and the slider. Throws the sinker about 46% of the time, slider 28% of the time. That's high. The count now moves to a ball and a strike. This is a guy who was the Texas League starter for the All-Star game and then starter for the PCL All-Stars the next year. Bouncer over by the third base on deck circle. Fine grab by the ball boy over there by the opening entrance next to the dugout. I mean, he just reached right down there, barehanded that smoothly, made it look like a routine play. On his toes and ready. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 down. The pitch in the dirt, 2-2. But Hudson then, in 2018, had a great first impression with the work that he was doing at the major league level. 4-1 to close out that 2018 season, and an ERA at 2.63. Pitches just beneath the knees, and the count is at 3-2. That would help him become the 5th starter in the rotation for the Cardinals coming in to the next season. He was 16-7 during that year, an ERA of 3.35. Comes the 3-2. Ground ball hit hard, but to the second baseman. Moore, he's backing up on it from the grass, throws to first. 2 up, 2 down. And now it brings up Tyler Tolbert. He actually had, in that 2019 season, Dakota Hudson, the highest ground ball percentage and lowest fly ball percentage in all of Major League Baseball. And ERA at 2.77 in 2020, but then had Tommy John surgery in late September. Tyler Tolbert, 2 for 3 with a home run, a double, and a run batted in on Tuesday. Flares this out to right center field. It's going to get down and split the gap, but cut off now by Sanchez, the right fielder. 2-out knock for Tyler Tolbert. And he's aboard. We go back to the top of the order for John Ray. Second hit of the day for the Storm Chasers, as it was Cam Devaney, the cleanup hitter, who led off the second with a knock. Here's John Rave. He struck out back in the first. Only strikeout victim so far for Dakota Hudson. Holds from the chest. Runner goes. Swing and a miss on the pitch. Throw down to second. Catch, slide tag. Got him! Among the best base stealing teams you'll find. Omaha, 71 for 80 stealing bases this year. And Chucky Robinson in time on a dime. And once again, Dakota Hudson faces the minimum 3 the first time through the order. He's given up a couple of hits, but no runs. Salt Lake Bees in a scoreless tie right now with the Omaha Storm Chasers. Bees up 2-0 in the series, but we still have 3 games left. Don't forget, tomorrow's game is on KJazz TV. We also have games on Saturday and Sunday on KMYU. But come on out to the ballpark to join us, slbees.com. Christian Moore singled, stole second back in the first. Hits one off of his foot here, and he hobbles around a little bit as this dribbles off foul left side. Christian Moore walking over by the third base on deck circle now, using the bat a little bit as a cane here at this moment. Just take a look at the replay. Yeah, it hit to the inside part of his left foot. Right where your foot curves inward. Well, Christian Moore takes a deep breath and steps back in. What a great start. 5 for 9 for him in this series. Been able to show a little bit of everything. 0-1 is high, and it's 1-1. The one thing he doesn't have is an extra base hit up to this point. And he does not have the long ball, of course, which everybody's excited to see on display at some point. 1-1. Moore takes high. 2 balls and a strike. A special talent, special player, and a lot of excitement from the fans to watch him and his teammates. Great report by Sammy Miller a couple days ago about their reception of him. Moore flies it high to the right side and out of play. Got doused by the cooler back in the opener after his post-game interview. Count even 2-2, score even 0-0. Comes the pitch to Moore. Bouncer to the left side, deep down behind the bag, tight to the line. Tolbert, long throw, diving for it is Prado, but he's off the bag as he makes a snag. Tough play by Tolbert, and a great effort by Prado. Each corner with a high degree of difficulty there, as Tolbert had to go way back. He was out actually on the outfield grass in foul territory in left, and then had to make a strong throw across. Infield single. And Moore's aboard for the second time today. Nico Cavada struck out in the first. Moore with a good lead at first. Pitch, and it's high, ball 1. Moore stole second base back in the first, and he was stranded. Nico Cavadas. This guy just keeps finding ways to get on base. He's been productive time and time again. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Cavada started after it slightly, but takes off speed and in the zone for a strike. Or was it in the zone? Cavadas thought it missed. He taps his helmet. Steven Jashinsky with the announcement. And Nico Cavadas was right. It was low. It was on the corner, the inside corner, but it was down by 2 inches. So nice call, Cavadas. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out. And no score. The pitch. Cavadas rockets one down the right field line, but it's foul off the netting. Rolls its way into right field. Well, you have to believe as a player, if you ever challenge, you're sitting there the whole time looking at the video board like, please be right. Please be right. Because you don't want to cost your team a challenge that a catcher would have a better look for later or anything like that. There's not a worse feeling when you go into big situations without a challenge. So you have to be certain that you're right, and Nico was. 2-1. Cavadas takes down, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Nico Cavadas, left-hand batter ready. Lead at first, Christian Moore. Comes the pitch from Avila. And it's a hard hit, ground ball up the middle and through into center field, a base hit. Christian Moore round second, going for third. Holding it first is going to be Cavadas, and the Bees have him on the corners with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Well, back-to-back singles for the Bees. One an infield single down the line, and this hard hit right back up the middle. And the ball was just to the right of center, so a long run there for Raven Caglianone. There was no problem for Christian Moore to go first to third. J.D. Davis, who walked back in the first inning, looking to do some damage here in the third. 2 on, nobody out. Davis takes for ball 1. And Avila, who walked a pair in the second, is behind against J.D. Davis here in the third. Davis reaches the bat back ready. The pitch. Davis takes for a called strike. Mention he just keeps finding ways to get on base. 7 times this series. There's 3 walks now. Reached base 4 times last night. Runners with their leads. The 1-1. Davis swings and misses. The pitch a little above the zone, and it's 1-2. Avila, as well as Ackenhausen. Avila pitched the second, Ackenhausen the first. They were in and out of trouble. Lived dangerously, but got out of it in the first couple innings. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And a big first out of the inning here for Avila.
Shortstop, number 35, Chad Stevens.
Brings up Chad Stevens. Chad Stevens had a hard hit ball to close out the first inning. Hit it right on the screws and smoked a line drive. But Tolbert at third just had a half step to go to be able to reach out and snag it. Some good defensive plays here so far tonight from Omaha. First pitch, Stevens takes a called strike. Fastball at 96 here tonight for Avila. As he peers in, gets what he wants and comes set from above the belt. The lead at third, Moore. The lead at first, Cavadas. Here comes the 0-1. Softly hit to the right side. Long range over there for Wilson. Gets it. Sidearm throw to first in time, but a run will score. Coming in for third is Christian Moore. Safely at second is Cavadas. An RBI for Chad Stevens, and the Bees lead it 1-0. Well, with the big hole over there on the right side, you didn't have to hit it hard. You just had to get it over there and make sure it got past Avila. And with all that room over there, Wilson had so far to go. There was no chance to turn 2 and no chance to make a play at the plate. So the Bees strike first. 1-0. Chucky Robinson walked in the second. Takes high for ball 1. Robinson, a .333 hitter with runners in scoring position. There's a 1-0. Robinson takes on the outside corner for a strike. 79 on the curve. Boy, that thing just broke. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Avila Long hold, the pitch. Robinson flares it to center. Shallow, long run. Rave, he won't get there. It's going to drop. Rounding third and coming in to score is Cavadas. RBI single, Chucky Robinson. And the Bees lead it 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. Well, this ball was not hit deep by any means, and Rave, who's fighting the sun anyway, I don't even think if the sun was a problem, I don't think he's going to get to this. That thing just dove down and died in shallow center field. Second baseman Wilson was actually closer to that than I had originally thought. I thought Robinson got more of that off the bat. 2 out, runner at first, the pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1. It's possible that Wilson didn't pick up that ball very well, as he didn't really get a great jump running outward to center field. No balls, a strike, 2 down, 2-0 Bees. Flint takes high. Counts at 1-1. And so it was Wilson standing kind of at the edge of where the shade and sun break on that curve that goes with the sun completely in the outfield now. Well off the bag at first is Robinson, and he goes back quickly. Well, there's getting a jump, and then there's getting such a good jump that you think you're in trouble. Robinson did scamper back. Comes 1-1. Flint outside. 2 balls and a strike. Tucker Flint reached on a fielder's choice. Back in that second inning. And then oddly, Tucker Flint had a couple of adventures out there on the field. He already has 2 stolen bases. Swing and a miss, 2-2. He stole second straight up. And then the other one, he was off the bag too far at second. They threw behind him, and he made a break for it and was able to swipe third as well. 2-0 Bees, bottom of the third. Lead at first by Robinson. The pitch is scorched high and deep to right, but hooking foul and out of play. Surprising a few out there on the concourse who were not expecting a ball out that way. So Flint hammered that ball, but hit it too far to the right. Robinson with the lead at first. Avila fires. Flint swings and misses, strike 3. A strikeout ends the inning, but the Salt Lake Bees get on the board. Stevens. Well, Chucky Robinson has been busy here so far today. He's thrown out a runner stealing. Tolbert was gunned down back there at second in the third inning. Nice tag there by Stevens as well. He also has an RBI single to go with it. And Chucky Robinson's also reached base twice overall on the night. Great start for the catcher, Chucky Robinson. Great start for Dakota Hudson. He's faced minimum 9 through the first 3 innings. Now top of the order, it's John Rave. Bees up 2-0. It has been a great home series so far. We hope you join us for some of the other games coming up. Make sure to get your tickets at slbees.com. Here's John Rave, left-hand batter ready. And the first pitch drops low for ball 1. Get our first look at the out-of-town scoreboard here tonight. A light day in the Bigs. Some night games to go with it. Busy night in the PCL. 1-0. Bounced fouls. It rolls its way to the first base on deck circle. 1-1. Taylor Ward, boy, he flipped the game in Sacramento today. Flipped it upside down. A grand slam to give the Halos the lead. They would go on to win 10-5 over the A's. What a great win. 1-1. This is outside. 2 balls and a strike. Zach Neto, a 3-hit day, drove in a run. The Angels have now won 7 in a row. They've had multiple homers in 6 straight games. They've only done that twice in the history of the franchise. Rave bounces this foul to the backstop that counts at 2 balls and 2 strikes. John Rave, who is 6th in hits in the International League, 7th in extra base hits, 1st in runs scored. He has been on some kind of tear. He's 4 for 6 in this series, including a double. 2-2. Downstairs, swing and a miss, strike 3. Dakota Hudson As just his second punch out of the night. But he has faced the minimum 10. He's given up 2 singles in the middle of that. Was helped by a double play, and then Chucky Robinson gunning down a base stealer. Here's Peyton Wilson. Wilson grounded out to second back in the first inning. First pitch from Dakota Hudson. And misses for ball 1. The Bees lead 2-0 in this top of the 4th. The only other 2 times it's happened for the Angels was 1961 and 2019, where they had 6 straight games with multiple home runs. Things have been coming together well for them as the pitch is down and away, 2-0, and things coming together for the Bees. The Angels swept the A's on the road for the first time in 28 years. There's the 2-0. Wilson takes outside, 3 balls and no strikes. So far tonight, Dakota Hudson has not allowed a free pass. He's been working from ahead a lot. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Top of the 4th, 2-0 Salt Lake. Hudson with the glove in front of his face. Now kicks, winds, deals. At the belt, the strike, 3-1. The Phillies have now won 7 in a row and 11 of their last 12 on the road. They blanked the Rockies 2-0. The Rockies, just as important of a story, 3-1. Wilson takes low, ball 4. Third hitter to reach base against Dakota Hudson tonight. It brings up Jack Caglianone. 2-0 Salt Lake in this top of the 4th. Colorado now with the worst 50-game start in the modern era. They are 8-42. Runner at first, 1 down. Wilson 1 for 2 stealing bases, creeping out to the lead. Here's Caglianone. Left-hand batter ready. Hudson fires. This is launched high into the right side, and it's going to go foul and well out of play. 0-1. Nathan Lukes came through in the 11th inning with a game-winning walk-off knock. The Jays beat the Padres 7-6. Gavin Sheets 2 home runs in a losing effort for San Diego. And the Padres have suddenly dropped 6 in a row. Here's the lead at first by Peyton Wilson. Caglianone the batter ready. Hudson the 0-1. It's popped up right here towards our area. Foul ground just to the left of us. It bounces off the stairs and now to the lower deck. And they weren't ready for it. And it goes all the way down to the premium area. And the fans in the upper deck not moving on contact. The fans in the lower deck not ready for the carom. Now, it was not well played. It was a rare misplay by this crowd here at the new ballpark at America First Square. Here's the 0-2. Caglianone rockets a liner right to Moore at second. Throw to first, not in time. And if Moore is able to get that ball out of his glove quicker, they get him. That ball was just lasered right at Moore, and Moore makes the catch, and you can see him in rhythm trying to snag and release it, but he just couldn't quite get a grip on it on the exchange. The Bees still get a key out there on a hard hit ball, 2 out, runner at first. Cam Devaney had a single against Hudson back in the 2nd inning. 2-0 Bees, top 4, throw over to first, and Wilson diving back in. That was huge, by the way, for Robinson, throwing out Tolbert to close out that 3rd inning. As Omaha, on Tuesday night, they were 5 for 5 stealing bases, and they had 5 different players take off on. Robinson setting up inside, and the pitch snaps in, twisting out of the way. It hit him. Apparently, it just clipped Devaney. And so Devaney take the free base to first. And now runners at first and second with 2 down. Taking a look at the replay. You knew it was hot. You knew it was high. You knew it was in. May have just grazed the shoulder. So Wilson at second, Devaney at first. Here's M.J. Melendez. He flied out to left in his only time up. Melendez left-hand batter ready. Bees up 2-zip, top of the 4th inning. Hudson, the righty, checks the rearview mirror and deals. That's on the outside. It's a ball. Snap throw down to first. Not in time. Oh, that was close. Diving back was Devaney. And Cavadas was running down to cover. Strong throw there by Robinson. He just did dive back in time. As the throw was above the head of Cavadas, so he had a long way to go to reach up to get it and slap the tag down. Robinson sets up outside. Here comes the 1-0. Melendez with a hot grounder, but to the second baseman. Moore from the edge of the grass takes his time and throws to first to end the inning. No runs, no hits. 2-0, bottom of the 4th. Bees in the lead over Omaha here in game number 3 tonight. The produce race was on as always, and the apple was the victor. And Bees fans, you can score free game tickets at Smith's. Spend as little as $75, get 2 tickets. Spend $150 or more and get 4 free tickets. Learn more at slbees.com/Smith's receipt. Here's Zach Humphreys to lead off the inning. Walk back in the 2nd. Lines one down the left field line. Hooking foul off the angled sidewall. It rolls its way all the way out to left center field. Humphreys 1 for 9 when leading off an inning this year. Bees plated a pair in the 3rd inning. But they did threaten heavy in the 1st and also in the 2nd. Humphreys was a part of that in that 2nd inning. No balls, 1 strike. Here's pitch number 50 from Avila. And the 0-1 is fouled right there at home plate. And the count's at 0-2. Aaron Judge was 0 for 3 today, and his batting average has now dipped below 400 for the first time in over a month. 0-2, fly ball, right field, headed towards the line as the right fielder Caglianone by the warning track on the side makes the catch for out number 1. Here's Corey Holland, struck out in the 2nd. Corey Holland, who was 1 for 4 in the opener of this series. As I mentioned before, all the wonderful things he's been doing defensively has been impressive. And he hits a high bouncer to the left side. Playing it back on the grass is Devaney, the shortstop. Long throw on target. Fabulous stretch by Prado. They got him. 6-3 the put out, and it was a beauty. Holland has great speed. And it's a tough play to get him on this one. Devaney had to range to his right, deep at the hole and short. And that had to be a great throw on target to allow Prado to stretch all the way out. Oh, and Devaney's had a great series with the bat. But also has had some nice moments with the glove. Sanchez takes high for a ball, 1-0. 2-0 Bees. As we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Guardians blank the Tigers today, 7-0. Orioles and Red Sox postpone. Pitch is high. 2-0 to Sanchez. Sanchez grounded out to 3rd in the 1st. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Switch hitter batting from the left-hand side. Glove at the knees. 2-0. It's grounded off the facing of the Bees dugout. First base side, 2-1. Now the game's in the bigs. They're in the 10th inning. Braves and Nationals tied 7-7. They have a rain delay bottom 6 in Pittsburgh as the pitch is low, 3-1. As the Bucks trail the Brewers 5-3. Astros 5, Mariners 2. That game is in the top of the 5th. That's it for the major leagues. 3-1, grounded sharply down the first base side, but through the runner's lane foul and rolling to the angled sidewall. Bunch of youngsters gather for the potential of a souvenir, and Caglianone throws it to a lucky youngster. Count full, 2 down. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2-0 Salt Lake. Sanchez ready. Avila fires. And it's rocketed high and deep to the right side. Foul and out of play. Look out. A screamer headed for the stands. Sanchez will continue this at bat. Sanchez looking to get on base for the first time today. Infield playing back. The 3-2 again. Sanchez goes to left center field, ranging over there. Rave, the center fielder, slows down and makes the catch in the alley to retire the side. Sanchez gave it a ride. Rave tracked it down. 3 up, 3 down go the Bees. We head to the 5th. 2-0 Salt Lake on the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome on back to the ballpark in America First Square. The Salt Lake Bees lead 2-0 over the Omaha Storm Chasers. We remind you to fetch some unforgettable moments coming your way Sunday the 25th. So bring your furry friend to the ballpark. It's Bark in the Park. It's a day you and your dog won't want to miss. Join us for Bark in the Park this Sunday afternoon. And out there on Betty's Berm, the dogs always have a great time, and your dog even goes home with a Bees branded bandana. Thank you to Shields, our good friends, for helping make Bark in the Park such a great amount of fun. Tyler Gentry leads off the top of the 5th, takes inside ball 1. He grounded into a 4-3 double play to end out the 2nd inning. Christian Moore has been busy over there at second base tonight. Comes the 1-0 from Hudson. Gentry takes inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, for Hudson, he is at 44 pitches now on the night. A very efficient first 4 innings of work. He's given up a couple of hits, walked 1, and hit a batter. 2-0, up and in, 3 balls and no strikes. Tyler Gentry, 250 hitter when he leads off an inning. He's going to try to start this inning off the right way as they're trying to break through here against Dakota Hudson. Hudson, who had a shutout first 8 innings at Sacramento. Knee high, called strike 3-1. Hudson's work was tremendous. And he actually took that shutout into the 9th. And then Sacramento got some traffic out there on him. He was taken out of the game, and 2 of those runs came in to score. Fouled straight back, and it's 3-2. But just in control and in command the entire way. Occasional moments where he got behind in the count, like this plate appearance right now, but he's battled back to make it 3-2. Hudson winds and deals the 3-2 pitch. And it misses for ball 4. Leadoff walk to Tyler Gentry. And it brings Brian O'Keefe to the plate. Brian O'Keefe flied out to right field to lead off the 3rd inning. Well, some interleague games in the Pacific Coast League, including this one tonight. Here's the first pitch to Brian O'Keefe. In there for a called strike. Counts at 0-1. Charlotte all over Round Rock, 8-0. Last call for the Express as they go to the top of the 9th. The 0-1 pitch. O'Keefe takes low. And it's 1-1. Las Vegas dominating at Sugar Land, 9-0, bottom of the 5th. Sacramento, they're in the Sooner State. Leading over the Comets 3-2, top of the 6th right now. Long hold Hudson. And a bouncer up the 3rd base side. Back pick nicely by Davis. Throws over to second for 1. On to first. Got him. Moore with the turn and toss. 5-4-3. They roll him up. Davis had to play it on a backhand and a short hop and picked it beautifully. And then Moore with the turn and toss there at second. Cavadas had to lean a bit towards the outfield side, but made the snag. And the Bees now with their 2nd double play of the night. Really well done by Davis. He made that look very easy over there at 3rd. Here's Prado. First pitch takes a strike at the knees. He did the same thing in a game at Sacramento. It was a really strange hop and a tough one to pick. But he picked it cleanly and was able to get the ball into his hand quickly to start the double play. Prado, that's a hard ground ball through the runner's lane and all the way out to the angled sidewall. Now where the Megaplex sign is, remind you the Megaplex is on its way to being built right now. It'll be finished before you know it, coming up this summer. So make sure to stop by and enjoy a movie at the Megaplex Theaters. Hopefully you'll join us at the new one here in Daybreak, but if not, plenty of other great locations before then. and after then. Bigger screens, better food, and great memories. Go to megaplextheaters.com to check out times and films. Comes the 0-2 to Nick Prado. Down 1-2. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Omaha. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Salt Lake Bees. Prado, the left-hand batter, ready. Coming set, Hudson from the chest. Knee up, put down, deals. And it's low, 2-2. Boy, you have to find a way to get to Hudson early when you look at batting averages for opponents. In the first inning, opponents coming into tonight hit .423 against Hudson, an on-base percentage of .516. Innings 2 through 5, they hit .253. This is fly to the left side, foul and out of play. The other thing Hudson has been great at so far this year is his work against the very top of the order. Leadoff hitters and number 2 hitters in a batting order hit just $1.72 against him this season. But hitters 3 through 5 coming into tonight had hit .422. Here's the 2-2. Just missed outside. The count's now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. When this guy works from ahead in the count, he's tough to beat. When he's ahead, 161. When he's behind, 371. Second walk in the inning as that's low. And so Prado worked the count full. And he earns his way on. That's been a bit of a strange occurrence here, both in the 4th and the 5th. The 4th inning, he walked 1 and hit a batter. And now he has 2 walks in this 5th. The strike 1 statistically has been everything for Dakota Hudson. I'll tell you why here in just a second. Number 9 hitter Tyler Tolbert singled against him back in the 3rd inning. The pitch. Tolbert takes low for ball 1. Boy, when he's ahead 0-1, coming into tonight, opponents hit just 111. 1-0. The batting average goes up to .455. That's a huge swing. But he has been so efficient and so consistent that last performance and a lot of tonight. 1-0, swing and a miss. Snap throw down to first, back with a head first slide is Prado. Prado 6 for 6 stealing bases this year. And you would say that this performance so far for Hudson, by no means has it been quite as clean as the last one we just saw in Sacramento. He's had some traffic out there. He's had a couple double plays that help him. A guy got caught stealing. But he has still been extremely dynamic. That's launched out to left and deep. A screamer by Holland. Holland going back, and Tyler Tolbert has tied the game. A 2-run homer by Tyler Tolbert. His 2nd home run of the season, and suddenly we're dead even at 2 apiece. Boy, Tyler Tolbert just turned on that ball and smoked it out to left field, and it was screaming its way over the wall to tie this thing up. Back to the top of the order, John Rave, and we have a new ball game. Well, John Rave has struck out each time he's faced Dakota Hudson. And he bounces this first pitch foul to the backstop, 0-1. Resetting the defensive alignment, Holland in left, Flint in center, Sanchez in right, Davis at 3rd, Stevens at short, Moore at 2nd, with Cavadas at 1st. Robinson behind the dish, and Dakota Hudson is on the mound. Robinson sets up inside against Rave. The 0-1. And Rave takes a called strike, 0-2. Rave is tied for 7th in extra base hits in the International League. Since May 3rd, this guy's been on a tear, batting .406. The 0-2. Rave started after it, down and away. Did he go? No. The appeal on the check swing. And Steven Rios with the safe side down the line. 3rd base side. Career best 16-game hit streak for John Rave. Looking for his first knock of the night. 2-2 top 5. And the 1-2 is caught on a miss, strike 3. Dakota Hudson has punched out Rave 3 times today. 2-2 ball game, bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Christian Moore, Nico Cavadas, J.D. Davis, the 2-3-4 hitters coming up to bat for the Salt Lake Bees. University of Utah Health wants you to join us on Sunday. When you come out to Bees games and see them on Sunday, they will have free stuff for you at their station, including sunscreen, hats, sunglasses, and more. They want you to enjoy the game and stay safe in the sun this summer. Moore takes the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Avila out there for what is his 4th inning of work, as it was Hackenhausen who started this game, and Avila took over in the 2nd. 0-1. Moore takes up banana ball and a strike. So University of Utah Health, the official care provider for the Salt Lake Bees and you. Stay cool, stay safe all game long and all summer long with University of Utah Health. Moore launches one high and deep to center. Going back is Rave at the track, and the wall, it's gone! Home run number 1 for prospect number 1. And the Bees are in front 3-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. And how fitting for Christian Moore to hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark over the 420 sign straight away. Now, when you come out to see dynamic talent, you hope to see explosive plays. The first of many for Christian Moore. And he puts the Bees ahead. Here's Nico Cavadas. Cavadas takes a called strike, top of the zone, 0-1. Well, that has to feel so good for him in that dugout, too. I mean, he's been so productive in this series. That's the 3rd time he's reached base tonight. He's 3 for 3. And he had a 3-hit night in the series opener, 0-1. Cavadas takes off, speed and away. It's a ball and a strike. Reset the defensive alignment of Omaha here in just a moment. Cavadas, heavy cut but missed on a pitch down. The count's at 1-2. Melendez in left, Rave in center. Caglianone is in right. Tolbert at 3rd. Devaney at short. Wilson at 2nd. Prado at 1st. It's O'Keefe behind the dish and Avila on the mound. Cavadas not crowding the plate but standing near the line. 1-2. 57-footer in the dirt. Snagged by the catcher O'Keefe. We'll do it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nico Cavadas struck out in the 1st. He singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. 3-2 Bees, bottom 5. Boy, this series has just been so tightly played. This 2-2 is bounced to the backstop. We'll do it again. Last night, 6-5 ball game. Night before, a 6-4 ball game. These games have been outstanding. Comes 2-2. Cavadas fouls it and almost squeezed by O'Keefe. So they'll reset and do it again. Now last night, 6-4 ball game, and one that a run was scored in every full inning with the exception of the 4th. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cavadas reaching on that one. 2nd strikeout of the night for Cavadas.
Third baseman, number 25.
Take a look at J.D. Davis. Walked and struck out tonight, but what fabulous work by him out of the hot corner. It's one thing to make nice plays. It's one thing to make them look so easy. I mean, the way he approached that ball was perfect. And then he has to play it on that short hop. Just great focus, concentration, and execution. Davis swings and misses 0-1. The other thing you like about that is, you know, gets it out of his hands quick. Moore does a great job getting it in and out of his hands. And it doesn't have to be a perfect throw for Cavadas to make the squeeze. 0-1, drops in there for a strike, 0-2. I mean, in a perfect world, each throw is right on target, right on time. But even when it's not, they still execute the play very well. This defense has just been stellar all year, but especially as of late. 0-2, it's low. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. And last night, the Bees needed their defense to be great. I mean, Victor Medeiros had a quality start, but he had a number of moments where Omaha hit him hard, and the defense came through time and time again. Tucker Flint had a nice diving catch. 1-2, rocketed out to left. Coming on, the left fielder Melendez, ranging to his left, makes the catch for out number 2. Oh, hard hit ball by Davis. Not too far from Melendez. 2 out, nobody on. He's up 3-2. And there's Chad Stevens. It's another thing about Chad Stevens' game, his ability to make the tough play look easy. It's been a big strength of him in his sophomore AAA season, if you will. Call to the pen. New pitcher coming on for the Storm Chasers. That's going to be it for Avila. At least it appeared that way. They were pointing out immediately, and indeed, that is it for Avila. We'll tell you about the new pitcher for Omaha when we come back. 3-2, Salt Lake in the lead. Bottom of the 5th on the KSL Sports Center. Bottom of the 5th inning, pitching change. Noah Murdoch coming on for Avila. 2 out, nobody on. The Bees up 3-2. For Murdoch, 0-1 on the year. This is his 3rd appearance with Omaha. And for Murdoch, 3 innings of work, 5 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned. Giving up a home run, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .357 against him so far on the year. Comes in, and the first hitter he's going to face is Chad Stevens. Stevens so far on the evening. Hit a laser, but right to the third baseman, Tolbert. As that took away what would have been a hit and a run batted in, at least one. And then Stevens grounded out to second, but did bring in a run. So Stevens stepping in the box. Set and ready. Murdoch with the first pitch to Stevens. He misses away for ball 1. Noah Murdoch previously played with the A's during this 2025 season. Pitches low. So he made his major league debut. The Royals actually drafted Murdoch in the 7th round, 199th overall in 2019. The A's selected Murdoch from the Royals in the Rule 5 draft this past winter. It's a soft grounder towards the third baseman, Tolbert's got it on 2 bounces. The toss across is in time. The inning is over, but the Bees are back in the lead. Top of the 6th inning, 3-2, Bees in the lead. It was a scoreless first 5 2/3 there for Dakota Hudson. Rather 4 2/3, I should say. And then the 2-run homer by Tyler Tolbert. But Hudson, 5 innings of work so far, 65 pitches. He's given up 3 hits. Had an issue with command there a bit in the 4th and the 5th. As he walked 1 in the 4th, hit a batter in the 4th, walked 2 in the 5th inning. But he has a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 6th. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And Hudson coming off of a quality start. Peyton Wilson grounded out to second and walked. Here comes the 0-1. Ground ball towards second, ranging to his right is Moore. Stopped, sidearm throw to first in time. 1 out. Boy, Moore's been busy over there defensively. He's had a ton of different plays. You get to see a number of different skills, and some of them just soft hit grounders, routine plays. And this one here, nice little range over to his right on the backhand. Did a great job helping turn 2. Had a hot ball hit at him where he was able to take the ball to the bag himself and start a double play. And he also has a home run. Caglianone takes low for a ball. Not only, I mean, the home run is the highlight for Christian Moore, but he's reached base 3 times. He's stolen a base. You know, all throughout the series, he has 7 hits. Just anything to help his team win. 1-0. Caglianone takes outside. Jack Caglianone in college hit a home run that was 516 feet. A Titanic blast. Now that is a metal bat, but that's still a poke, folks. Here's the 2-0. Caglianone takes high, 3 balls and no strikes. I mean, the Royals fan base and the organization, they are so excited about the future of this guy, as same with the Angels fan base and the Bees fan base with Christian Moore. 3-0 pitch. Caglianone rips to right and deep to Sanchez, who turns around. It's gone. There's home run number 1 for prospect number 1 of the Kansas City Royals. Jack Caglianone with a rocket over the right field wall. He's tied the game here at 3-3. Oh, he hit that ball right on the screws. And this one had a vapor trail behind it, a screamer. It just hit off the berm and then off the brick back wall. Jack Caglianone, who was 0 for 2 tonight, Had a couple of singles the night before, and then was 1 for 4 in the opener. That's a hit high, deep to left field. A rainbow that's way out of here by Cam Devaney. He's homered for the 3rd time in as many games in this series, and now he's given Omaha a 4-3 lead. For Cam Devaney, that's his 10th home run of the season. He has 35 runs batted in now this year, and he's reached base all 3 times that he's come to the plate.
Left fielder, number 4, MJ Melendez.
Oh, no doubter on that one. And by no means did he bat flip it necessarily, but he just kind of gently tossed that bat to the side without any concerns at all that that was going to lead. 4-3 Omaha. Pitch to Melendez. Misses for ball 1. Melendez flied out to left and grounded out to second. Back-to-back home runs here from Caglianone and Devaney. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Well, and this series has been tightly played, and it's been very well played. It's just kind of different moments. The Bees had 3 home runs last night. Just different players coming through at different times. Here's the pitch. Melendez takes outside. Well, so far this evening, the Storm Chasers able to plate runs without getting runners in scoring position. 2-1. Sets outside. 3 balls and a strike. Coming into tonight, in the last 5 wins for the Bees, opponents hit just 5 for 45 with runners in scoring position. 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Those were only during those Bees wins, as they've taken 5 out of 6. But that's been a big part of this team's success. But the long ball in effect today for the Omaha Storm Chasers. A 2-run homer by Tolbert in the top of the 5th. Solo homer Caglianone. Back-to-back there, Cam Devaney. After that, it's 4-3 Omaha. Here in the top of the 6th, 1 out, nobody on. Here's the 3-2 from Hudson to MJ Melendez. And Melendez hits it hard into the opposite field. Going back is Holland. Back to back to back. Melendez with a solo homer, his 3rd of the season. And suddenly the Storm Chasers lead it 5-3. And Melendez going the other way with that one, and off of his bat, he scorched it. And while this Omaha team was fairly quiet through the first 4 innings of this ball game, and with 2 out, nobody on in the 5th, they played it a pair on a home run, and now they have a trio of homers in this 6th. Just an incredible onslaught of power here. It's Melendez with his 3rd. It was Devaney with his 10th, and Caglianone with his 1st. So suddenly the Bees have watched their team play from ahead or even the entire night. Now they're down. Here's Tyler Gentry. He hit into a double play back in the 2nd. He walked in the 5th. And Gentry takes down and away for a ball, 1-0. While it will not be a quality start here for Hudson, I want to see him work his way to get through the 6th inning, as the Bees bullpen has been great as of late. This pitch misses low, 2-0. Over the last 6 games, as this pitch has been challenged. Call was that it was low. It appeared low, and the review said it was low.
The calls confirmed the pitch was a ball.
2 balls and no strikes. But the bullpen for the Bees the last 6 games with an ERA of 1.69. It's the 2-0 to Tyler Gentry. Gentry with a bouncer up the 3rd base side. Foul, just wide of the bag. And it'll go to 2 balls and a strike. Tyler Gentry still looking for his first hit of the series, but he has reached base 3 times. 5-3 Omaha. Top of the 6th, 1 out. A part of the night with the sun and also the lights doing the equal amount of work. Pitches on the inside corner of strike. This is challenged by Tyler Gentry, the batter. Gentry thought it was inside. Review said that home plate umpire Steve Jashinsky was wrong. It was inside, so the count's now at 3-1. The Bees had a couple of challenges go against them here. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 down. Pitch from Hudson. Fouled off of the leg of Gentry. And the count moves full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count full, bases empty. The inning started with a ground out to second. Then back-to-back-to-back home runs. 3-2. This is flied high, left center, not deep. Coming over Holland, the left fielder, calling off the center fielder, Flint. And instead, Flint will make the catch in center field for out number 2.
Catcher, number 33, Brian.
So 2 out, nobody on. 5-3 Omaha, Brian O'Keefe, the catcher. 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded into a 5-4-3 double play back in the 5th inning. Flied out to right in the 3rd. Pitch to O'Keefe. Fouled straight back to the screen, 0-1. Omaha with 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. The Bees with 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th. Infield tilted left, well off the bag at first is Cavadas. The 0-1 is cut on a missed 0-2. Brian O'Keefe digging back in. Hudson trying to put an end to this 6th inning. The 0-2 pitch. Downstairs, 1-2. For the Bees, 2 up in the bottom half of the 6th. It'll be Chucky Robinson, Tucker Flint, Zach Humphreys, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Hudson winds and deals. O'Keefe howls it to the backstop again. We'll do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Hudson now officially at 88 pitches. He's had to battle hard in the 5th and the 6th inning. 1-2 again. Ground ball slowly hit towards the shortstop Stevens. Charging on it, has it, fields, and throws to first in time. Fans having a great time here as always at the ballpark at America First Square. We hope to see you for a future Bees home game. Get your tickets at slbees.com. We have fireworks coming your way on Saturday night with our salute to service. Kids get to run around the bases after the field as well. That's Saturday night here at the ballpark at America First Square. And don't forget, Tuesday nights at the ballpark, they are family nights. Get 4 tickets for $40. It's brought to you by Holmes Homes. Here's Chucky Robinson, right-hand batter, leading off the inning. And Robinson, an RBI single back in the 3rd. He walked in the 2nd. And for Chucky, 4 for 25 when leading off an inning. Murdoch out there after he concluded the bottom of the 5th. He will start off this 6th. Robinson takes outside ball 1. Avila's final line, 3 2/3 innings. 4 hits, 3 runs, all of Mern, 2 walks. He struck out 5. Bees down 5-3. Robinson takes low, or it appeared low, but it's called a strike at the knees. 1-1. I might have jumped the gun on that. Robinson reaches the bat back ready. The 1-1. Robinson takes down and away, 2 balls and a strike. Chucky Robinson, who goes with no batting gloves. Loves the feeling of that bat in his hand. He reaches down and grabs a little bit of dirt between pitches many times to get that natural feel. 2-1. Called strike 2. Robinson turned and looked away and then turned back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Robinson takes low. And the count is full at 3-2. Well, all 3 of those pitches borderline towards the bottom of the zone. Very, very close. Robinson grimaced at the 2 strikes that were called. That one was borderline. It was called a ball. Here's the 3-2 to Robinson. And he fouls it high above the right side of the Bees dugout off the netting. Rolls its way to the first base coach's box. Robinson battling here against Murdoch. 5-3 Omaha, bottom of the 6th inning. This has been a series that's been so tightly played. The Bees have won each of the first 2 games. Trying to come from behind in game 3. At the knees, called strike 3. A backward K to start off the 6th. 1 out, nobody on. Here's Tucker Flint. Flint reached with a fielder's choice in the 2nd. He stole 2nd and 3rd and was stranded, and then struck out in the 3rd. Never underestimate the importance of the work that was done by both Ackenhausen and Avila in the 1st and 2nd inning to get out of trouble the way they did. First pitch outside to Flint, ball 1. Tucker Flint, who has homered in this series and driven in a pair. See a mammoth home run over the right field wall. Pitches outside, and it's 2-0. Murdoch, the 3rd pitcher employed tonight. Nice take there by Flint. The count's now at 3 balls and no strikes. Zach Humphreys is on deck. He's down 5-3. Bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch. At the knees, outside corner, a strike. And it's now at 3-1. 3-1 pitch, softly bounced back to the pitcher Murdoch. He'll casually get it, softly throw to first in time. 2 up, 2 down. And it brings up Zach Humphreys. He walked in the 2nd, flied out to right in the 4th inning. Bees Baseball is brought to you by LVT. See how LVT helps increase safety and security for your employees and customers at LVT.com. Humphreys, the right-hand batter, ready. Infield shifted left. Pitch to Humphreys in there, thigh high for a called strike, 0-1. Zach Humphreys did not play in the first 2 games of this series. 0-1. Humphreys hits one hard out to center field on a rope. Ranging to his left is Rave. He'll make the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 6th inning. Welcome on back. 5-3 Omaha leading over the Salt Lake Bees as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Let's it on down to Sammy Miller.
Tony, remember how I said how it was SEMO time here in Salt Lake? Well, that is especially true now with that gorgeous home run, his first AAA long ball, but it was a complete effort. So Scott Kingery may not be in the lineup, but he is playing such a big effect in this game because every time his teammates come into the dugout, he's talking to each and every one of them saying, okay, this is what I'm seeing. Maybe here's an adjustment that you can make, and he did just that with Christian Moore. So I'm not saying that Scott Kingery is the reason for that home run, but it definitely a contributing factor, Tony.
This ball's deep to right, off the wall by Prado, picked up by Sanchez. Prado hustling into 2nd. He'll get there with a leadoff double. The new pitcher now for the Bees is Andres Briseño. And so Prado starts off this 7th inning with an extra base hit. Oh, and off the bat, you know, it didn't get up a ton, but it was getting out, and it hit just off the top of the wall. The Bees fortunate that that ball stayed in. Tyler Tolbert, who hit a 2-run homer to tie the game in the top of the 5th, and that's when things started to feel different around this place. Corners in, nobody out, square to bunt, pulling back. Ball 1 to Tyler Tolbert. Andres Briseño, 13th appearance with the Bees, 18 2/3 innings. 17 runs, 16 earned, 16 walks, 18 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .235 against him this year. Pitch to Tolbert, square and a bunt, pulls back, takes a strike, 2-1. America First Credit Union has all the products, tools, and services you need to manage your finances or grow your business. If you're ready to get your money working, head to AmericaFirst.com and join the home team today. From the stretch, Briseño. Long hold, the 1-1. Outside. Square and a bunt, pulling back again was Tyler Tolbert. The corners are in, middle infielders are back. And they're in the position where Moore was starting to move towards first, but now backing up and moving towards the second base bag, squaring to bunt again and putting it down foul through the first base on deck circle. And so Moore has a long way to go to get over there to first, but he's moving well in case that ball gets down and in case he needs to cover. 2-2 the count, 5-3 the score. Omaha has rallied to take the lead here tonight against Salt Lake. Storm Chasers looking for their first win of the series. Tolbert swings and misses, strike 3. Big punch out by Briseño. 1 out, runner at second. Here in the top of the 7th, it brings up John Rave.
Center fielder, number 2,
John Rave, one of the more dynamic offensive weapons in the International League. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Number 1 in triples. Came into tonight with a batting average above 300. Rave takes outside for a ball. Final line on Dakota Hudson tonight. He faced the minimum 3 through the first 3 innings. Got through the 4th without giving up anything, and 2 out, nobody on in the 5th before it was Tolbert with a 2-run homer that changed this game. Pitch was inside, 2 balls and no strikes now to John Rave. Give those final numbers here in just a second on Hudson. First, here comes the 2-0 pitch to Rave. Rave fouls it back, 2-1. For Hudson, 6 innings of work, 6 hits, 5 runs, all earned. 3 walks, punched out 3, gave up 4 home runs, including Caglianone, Devaney, and Melendez going back to back to back in the 6th inning. Pick-off throw, instead holding it was Briseño. He wheeled around and covering the bag was Stevens, the shortstop. But he held on to it. So he'll step back in. Count stays at 2-1. John Rave ready. In at third is Davis. The lead at second by Prado. Rave grounds one softly towards the second baseman. Moore charging, gets it quickly and throws to first in time. 4-3 the put out. Christian Moore, really nice defensive night, as well as hitting the first home run in his AAA career. On the play, Prado moves over to third. 5-3 Omaha. They're looking for some late inning insurance here. And with 2 outs, Peyton Wilson, who was grounded out twice to Moore at second, and he's walked tonight. Top 7, 5-3 Omaha. Wilson takes low for ball 1. Hudson's night, 89 pitches overall. Wilson set and ready. So is Briseño, holding from just above the belt. Briseño fires, and it's in the dirt, blocked nicely by the catcher, Robinson. And the count's now at 2 balls and no strikes. Great to have Interleague back with the PCL and International League all together. And Omaha, former members of the Pacific Coast League. Storm Chasers have not visited the Beehive State since 2017. This is the first series between these two teams since 2019. 2-0. Swing and a foul tipped into the glove, 2-1. The most important thing here, just get an out, get out of this inning, and get back to work with 9 outs to work with and down by 2 if you're the Bees. Salt Lake coming into tonight, winners in 5 of their last 6. 2-1 is inside. Getting out of the way of it was Peyton Wilson, and the count's now at 3-1. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Omaha. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Salt Lake. Here comes the 3-1. Popped up, fouled right over our head at our broadcast position. And out of play, counts full at 3-2. Jack Caglianone is on deck. He homered back in the 6th and started that back-to-back-to-back barrage of home runs. Big lead at third, and I mean a massive lead at third right now by Prado. He's almost halfway there. Now backs up a bit. The pitch, 3-2 is low. Ball 4. And that'll put Peyton Wilson aboard. Runners are at the corners now with 2 down. And that brings up Jack Caglianone. Well, Caglianone was 0 for 2 before that solo homer. And last time he was up, he tattooed a ball out onto Betty's berm. That tied the game at the moment. He just felt like, okay, each team's number 1 prospect with a long ball. And then suddenly the game flipped upside down and the Royals affiliate, the Storm Chasers, have a 5-3 lead. Caglianone bounces it foul to the backstop, 0-1. Jack Caglianone batted .322 in Double-A. He had 8 doubles and 9 home runs, 43 runs batted in already this season at that level. Runners with their leads. Briseño comes set from just above the belt. Here comes the 0-1. Caglianone swings and misses, 0-2. 1 strike away from getting out of this. Briseño. First pitcher to come out of the pen tonight. The Bees bullpen has been stellar over the last 6 games. Andres holds. Here comes the 0-2. Inside. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Peyton Wilson over there at first base. 1 for 2 stealing bases on the year. We'll see if they put him in motion here in the 7th inning. There he goes. The 1-2 in the dirt. Robinson looks at second. Sliding into second is Wilson. But with the runner at third base, Prado, Robinson didn't throw down. And on top of that, with that pitch being low and in the dirt, and Robinson have to recollect, there would be a low chance of getting him at second anyway if that was the case. Here's Caglianone now with the count 2-2. Takes outside. Count full at 3-2. It's Andres Briseño just trying to put a lid on this 7th inning. It started with a Nick Prado double. Wilson a 2-out walk. Wilson at second, Prado at third. The 3-2 to Jack Caglianone. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big punch out for Briseño. Bottom of the 7th inning, Corey Holland, Yolmer Sanchez, Christian Moore. The 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Salt Lake Bees. The Bees lead the series 2-0. They trail game number 3, 5-3. Holland 0 for 2 tonight, struck out in the 2nd and grounded out too short on the evening. Thanks so much for being with us here tonight. Make sure to join us tomorrow, same place, same time, 6:35. Pitch is low for ball 1. Pitching matchup tomorrow, and for the Bees, it's expected to be Touki Toussaint. He had a quality start his last time out. Still to be determined on who the Storm Chasers will go with. Murdoch out there for another inning of work on the outside corner strike, 1-1. Corey Holland, 3 for 15, leading off an inning. Holding from the stretch, although nobody on. And Holland rockets one down the first base side, fair, and headed for the corner. Here goes Holland blazing around first, motoring into second, and now here he turns and burns for third. Trouble down the sidewall. Holland's coming around third for home. The umpire is saying it's in play, and Holland has scored. For now, it's an inside the park home run, and he's cut the deficit to 5-4. And heads up play by Holland. That's why you don't stop running. You just keep on going. And umpire Tanner Moore ran out there and gave the safe sign. Jack Caglianone was having trouble with it down the line. I don't know if it was wedged between the padding, the dirt, and the cement area down there. There's a small amount of room, and I don't know if it got wedged and he couldn't pull it out of there, or what. The conversation happening with the umpires right now. Holland definitely slowed up as he was on his way into second, and then turned on the burners going around. We take a look at it, and yes, it did get wedged. There's no doubt about that. There's the wall down that right field line, that is for the field crew. So the grounds crew uses that to open up for all of the different equipment to come out and to do work out there on the field. And so we didn't have a look at it with live action because we kind of lose sight of it with the rising sidewalls. But that ball certainly got lodged deep in there, and Caglianone couldn't get it out. Now, for those of you youngsters watching this game, even though Holland is going back to second base, and this is the correct call, good work by the umpires to get together and talk this over. Holland with a heads-up play to keep on running anyway, because you don't know how it's going to be ruled or what might happen. You don't assume that that would be the call. And so the field crew is down there right now. I don't know if that door just wasn't shut all the way or if it's just simply the way that the indent of the padding works along that way, that it just kind of got tucked in underneath that. Now, the one thing with Caglianone is he just threw his arms up. When Caglianone puts his arms up in the air, that doesn't make it official. That's just him trying to signal that. And the umpires did not make it official until they got together and discussed everything that happened. So it is 5-3. Here is Yolmer Sanchez. Yolmer Sanchez, 0 for 3 tonight. Hit one hard his last time up, but it was caught out in center field by Rowe. The pitch. Squares to bunt, pops it up, and fouls it behind home plate. And Rave has been busy out there in center field throughout the whole entire series. Yolmer Sanchez, 1 for 3 in last night's game. Hall in the lead, squaring, pulling back is Sanchez. He takes, and it's 1-1. And for Corey Holland, that was his third double as a member of the Bees. Wind gently blowing out to right. 5-3 Omaha, bottom 7. Squaring to bunt, pulling back again is Sanchez. The count's now at 2 balls and a strike. Holland walking to his lead at second. Murdoch, tonight the third pitcher employed by Omaha from the stretch. Holds from the chest, 2-1 pitch, down and in, it's 3-1, and Sanchez was not squaring up that time. The corner's still in. Now we'll see what they do here at 3-1. The first baseman, Prado, even with the bag. Same with the third baseman, Tolbert, but now with the forward lean. 3-1, down and away, ball 4, 2-on, nobody out. It'll bring up Christian Moore. Christian Moore, his last time up, his first AAA home run. Boy, and he smoked that ball. Deepest part of the ballpark. Over the 420-foot mark in straightaway center field. And we have a meeting at the mound and a pitching change. We'll tell you about the new Omaha pitcher when we come back. Bees down 5-3, but they're threatening. Runners at first and second with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th on the KSL Sports Zone. New pitcher on for the Omaha Storm Chasers is Junior Fernandez. Bees trail 5-3 here in this bottom of the 7th inning. The Bees have runners at first and second. Corey Holland led off the inning with a double. Yolmer Sanchez followed it up with a walk. Christian Moore will be the first batter that Fernandez is going to face. Fernandez, the right-hander, stepping in. And for Fernandez, 2-2 on the year, an ERA of 4.03. Fernandez, in his 19th appearance of the season, 22 in the 3rd inning, 17 hits, 12 runs, 10 earned. Walked 15, struck out 32. And the International League, as well as PCL opponents, because now he's faced the Bees already, batting .210 against him so far this season. What a big situation here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Christian Moore stepping to the plate. For Fernandez, he had an inning of work in the series opener. He gave up 2 hits and a run, but that run was unearned. He struck out 3 and walked 1. He's going to try to hold this 2-run lead in place. But he faces a very dangerous hitter in Christian Moore. What a series Moore has had. Solo homer in the 5th, but 2 singles before that, including a stolen base. Corners in. middle back. The pitch is down, blocked by the catcher O'Keefe, and it rolls to the right side of the backstop. Runners move up to second and third. And suddenly, 2 runners in scoring position. Christian Moore is 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position in the short time he's had with the Bees. Christian Moore, right-hand batter. Fernandez straightens up from the belt. This is hit high into center. Going back, Ray to the track by the wall. It's over his head, and it one hops over the wall, and that will tie the game. 2-run ground rule double by Christian Moore, and we're all tied at 5 apiece. Well, he hit it over the center field wall again. He just didn't do it exactly like he did it last time, but it was still productive. This time it counts for 2. A 2-run ground rule double, and Christian Moore is just having some kind of series. I mean, you always want to have a great first impression, but this is remarkable. 5-5 ball game, runner at second with nobody out. Cavadas bounces it foul to the backstop. 0-1. I mean, Christian Moore came into this, there's a ton of expectation. And you know, in the game of baseball, things can take time. We've seen a number of players get call-ups here, and might just take a moment to get their feet set. That has not been a problem for this guy. Unbelievable. 0-1. Cavadas takes at the knees for a strike. 0-2, he taps his helmet. He disagrees. Now, Cavadas was successful earlier tonight on a challenge. This one was a strike. Bottom of the zone, and the count is 0-2.
Confirm the pitch was a strike. Salt Lake is out of challenges.
Cavadas 1 for 3. A single, a run scored, a pair of strikeouts. Christian Moore is 4 for 4 tonight. 8 for 12 in the series. He has 2 extra base hits this evening. Cavadas fouls it back to the screen. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. And so exciting to see him in great situations, clutch moments, tight moments in a ball game, late innings, chance to tie it up. And he delivered. Here's the 0-2 to Cavadas. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cavadas is down, 1 out. And it brings up J.D. Davis. J.D. Davis walked in the first. Struck out in the third, flied out to left in the 5th. Moore still at second, 1 down now. J.D. Davis coming off a night where he had 2 home runs. It was 3 for 3, reaching base 4 times. He's reached base once tonight, looking for his first hit. Davis takes down and in, ball 1. J.D. Davis, who's made some fine plays there in the hot corner tonight, can give the Bees the lead with a base knock. The 1-0. Davis started after it, left it in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Christian Moore tonight, you'll look at his stat line, and that's impressive. There's no doubt what he's done with the bat is remarkable. His defensive work tonight is also what should have you very excited. It's just all-around game has flourished. 2-0. Fouled back to the screen. 2 balls and a strike. J.D. Davis 6 for 21 with runners in scoring position. Moore leading off at second. The second baseman Wilson Shane in the bag. Holding is Fernandez. Here comes the 2-1. Davis takes downstairs. 3 balls and a strike. And close the book tonight for the Storm Chasers on relief pitcher Murdoch, 1 1/3. Gave up 1 hit, 2 runs, both earned. Walked 1, struck out 1. Moore the lead at second. Game tied 5-5. Bottom of the 7th, 3-1. Swing and a miss on a pitch downstairs. I think Davis might have hacked it ball 4 on that one. Now the crowd starting to make some noise. The wind has been a factor through so many games here at the ballpark at America First Square. It's gently blowing out to right tonight. Games 1 and 2 were close and very dramatic and fun. This one brewing to be the same. Comes the 3-2. Davis fouls it back to the screen again. The on-deck batter is Chad Stevens. Stevens is also looking for his first hit of the night, although he has brought in a run. Both teams with 5 runs. Both teams with 7 hits. Both teams errorless. Here comes the 3-2. There goes Moore. The pitch, inside, ball 4, throw to third, slap, tag, save. Christian Moore has stolen his second base of the night. And J.D. Davis is aboard at first. Well, and Moore had to hustle. That was a strong throw down there, and it was a low throw as well. Nice work by Tolbert on the snag and tag. Christian Moore with a very important 90 feet to get to third base now with 1 out. That brings up Chad Stevens. Well, last time Stevens was in this kind of situation, he brought in a run. He didn't have a hit, but he simply brought in the run from third. Corners in, middle infielders back. Runners at the corners. The pitch. Stevens, line drive, left field, base hit. In to score from third is Christian Moore. Stopping at second, J.D. Davis. A clutch RBI single, Chad Stevens. And the Bees are back in front. It's 6-5. And for Chad Stevens, he now has 22 runs batted in, second on the team behind Cavadas with 28. And there's just certain guys that when the money's on the table, you know, whatever you need for your team, Chad Stevens is going to deliver on it. I love his defensive work this year, his work as a base runner, and then what he's been able to do with the bat. Just outstanding. Here's Chucky Robinson, 2 on, 1 out. Robinson takes on the inside corner a strike. Robinson walked, had an RBI single, and struck out tonight. The Bees with 3 runs now in this bottom of the 7th. They've taken the lead 6-5. The 0-1. Chucky pops it up foul behind home plate and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Robinson had a 2-hit night on Tuesday. Looking to make it a 2-hit night tonight. The lead at second, Davis. The lead at first, Stevens. The lead in the game, Salt Lake, 6-5. In the dirt, blocked by the catcher, O'Keefe. And the runners will hold. Counts at 1-2. Oh, great work by Andres Briseño on the top half of this inning. Look, the Bees are down 5-3, and Briseño gave up a double to start that inning. And then after that, a walk. I mean, it was Omaha threatening in the top half of the 7th to really extend that lead. And Briseño dug in deep to keep it at 2. And then Holland, Sanchez, and Moore just punched hard to start this inning. Robinson takes inside, 2-2. As for the Bees, 5 of the first 6 hitters in this inning have reached base. Chucky Robinson, a .333 hitter with runners in scoring position this year. Runners at first and second. Robinson leaned and started after it. He left it downstairs. The count is now full. Signals being given by third base coach and manager Keith Johnson. Crowd turning up the volume here in the bottom of the 7th. Davis walking to his lead at second. Big lead at first by Stevens. Here comes the 3-2. Robinson takes a vicious cut but comes up empty, strike 3. 2 out, 2 on, 6-5 Bees, bottom of the 7th. For the Storm Chasers and their staff tonight, strikeout number 9 and the second for Fernandez. Tucker Flint. Lefty steps in the box against the right-hander Fernandez. Fernandez from the belt. First pitch. Flint takes a heavy cut but comes up empty, 0-1. The Salt Lake Bees have scored exactly 6 runs in 4 of their last 5 wins. They have exactly 6 runs now. The 0-1. Flint swings and misses 0-2. Tucker Flint, a fielder's choice in the second. He stole 2 bases while he was out there. Struck out in the third, grounded out to the pitcher in the sixth. The 0-2 in the dirt, blocked by the catcher O'Keefe. He keeps it in front. Tucker Flint grew up a huge fan of the Boston Red Sox. Talked about going to the championship parades. Talked about how exciting it was to be around. Idolized Big Papi. Spent a whole year trying to pattern his swing. A 1-2 to Flint. Check swing outside. No, he didn't. And the count is 2-2. Flint, who had a home run earlier in this series, looking to help the Bees pad on to this 1-run lead right now in the bottom of the 7th. Flint takes low, and it's 3-2. Boy, some nice takes by a number of batters here in this inning. It's led to some good counts to swing the bat. It's led to 2 walks in the inning. First and second, 2 down. Count full. A head start for Davis at second and Stevens at first. There go the runners. Flint takes outside, ball 4, bases loaded, 2 down. And here comes Zach Humphreys. And if there's one thing Humphreys has been a specialist at this year, it's late inning clutch swings. He'll get a chance to do it once again, but first Omaha's going to go to the pen. Fernandez responsible for all runners out there on the base paths. His night is done. We'll tell you about the new Omaha pitcher when we come back. 6-5 Salt Lake, bottom of the 7th on the KSL Sports Zone. Two out, bases loaded. Bees lead 6-5. Ryan Hendricks, the new pitcher on for the Omaha Storm Chasers, and for Hendricks so far on the year, 0-2, an ERA of 11.37. This is his 11th appearance so far on the year. 12 2/3 innings, 18 hits, 19 runs, 16 earned. Walk 9, punched out 20. Opponents hitting .316 against him. Zach Humphreys is number 8 in the order, but he'll be the 9th hitter coming to the plate in this bottom of the 7th inning. The Bees were down 5-3 in the 7th. They've rallied back to take a 6-5 lead. And Zach Humphreys is stepping up to the plate. He does not have a hit tonight. You would look at Humphreys' numbers this year. 6 doubles, no triples, no homers, 14 runs batted in. But it's when his production has happened that jumps out to you. Several moments throughout the year. Late, clutch swings. With the bases loaded, Humphreys 3 for 4. All 3 hits were doubles. The pitch, Humphreys takes down and away, and what a stop by O'Keefe as he spins around to stop it. Hendricks had that first one get away from him. You know, J.D. Davis there at third, that goes to the backstop. The Bees get a big run. What a play by O'Keefe. Runners with their leads. Here's the 1-0. Humphreys takes upstairs. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Humphreys, the ultimate team guy. Played mostly at catcher last season. Was a great extension for the staff, not just with his work on the field. 2-0, fouls it behind home plate over the screen and over everybody. Humphreys, a proud papa. He and his wife just had their second child, a little boy, a few months back. 2-1. Humphreys, the vicious cut. It's 2-2. He comes up empty. And Hendricks and the Storm Chasers 1 strike away from getting out of this thing. Humphreys 1 swing away from padding the lead generously. Here comes the 2-2. Humphreys takes outside. The bases are full. The count is full. What a moment here in the bottom of the 7th. Davis at third. Stevens at second. Flint at first. Let the merry-go-round begin. Humphreys takes inside. Nice peeps. Ball 4, 7-5 Salt Lake. And in this inning, that is the 4th walk so far of the night. Another safe at home moment brought to you by LVT. And the Salt Lake Bees have a 2-run lead. The Bees have batted around. It all started with Corey Holland having a double down the line. Looked like what might be an inside the park homer. The pitch. Holland lines it out to left, down for a base hit. In to score from third is Stevens. Robinson coming around, throw to the plate, safe. It's a 2-run single by Corey Holland, and the Bees have a 9-5 lead. Scoring on the play was Chad Stevens and Tucker Flynn. Outstanding work in this 7th inning from the bats of the Bees. I mean, just remarkable. Just either they're getting hits or they're getting walks, and they're driving in runs, and they've piled it on here with a 6-pack in the 7th inning. Runners at first and second now. 2 down. Sanchez dribbles it foul to the third base side by the on-deck circle. Just remarkable work from this offense. While the pitching has been remarkable during this stretch of winning 5 out of 6. I've talked about this offense having the timely swings throughout the course of that. Sanchez fouls it straight back. And the count's 0-2. Sanchez walked back in the earlier part of this inning, would come around to score on that 2-run ground rule double by Christian Moore. The 0-2. Sanchez takes for a called strike 3, and the inning is over. But the Bees bat around. They end up with 6 runs on the inning, and they take a 9-5 lead as we go to the 8th here on the KSL Sports Zone. We go to the 8th inning. Bees up 9-5 over Omaha. Your player of the game tonight, Christian Moore. Boy, he was great in every phase imaginable. Defensively, some fine plays, including a double play. And on top of that, with the bat, he was stellar. 4 for 4, including his first AAA home run. That was a big one to give the Bees a 3-2 lead. And then when the Bees were down, he came up with a 2-run ground rule double that tied the game. That was a big one at the bottom of the 7th. It was a part of a 6-pack for the Bees in that 7th inning, as they would go on to take a 9-5 lead, as Christian Moore was absolutely magnificent. Made the tough play look easy, made the easy play look easy, made swinging the bat look easy. He's just a triple shy of the cycle. Cam Devaney's going to lead off the 8th. Tough night for Omaha right after they take the lead. 6 runs scored in that bottom of the 7th inning. It is Jack Dashwood, the new pitcher, on for the Salt Lake Bees. Dashwood 0-1, 15th appearance here so far this year. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Popped up foul to the right side, not a play. Do it at 0-2. Boy, Jack Dashwood, so far this season, had some rough moments in the early part of the year. But more times than not, since you go back to April 17th, he's been great. He's had 1 bad outing. He's counting out a ball and 2 strikes. So you see his ERA, it's at 13-14. That's nothing pretty. If you go back and look over a huge stretch of work, in his last 10 outings, 9 of them were magnificent. I mean, he just has kept opponents off the board. Comes the 1-2. Devaney takes inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bees up 9-5, top of the 8th. And at the Sacramento River Cats, he gave up a run in the 7th inning. And what was the 3rd inning of work? And then held him scoreless in the 7th inning on Sunday. 2-2. Fly ball, center field and deep. Drifting back on it is Flint. Heading to the track, right in front of the wall, leaps up and makes the catch. Right at the yellow part of the padded wall, Tucker Flint He used every inch of this ballpark and made the play. Now, the defense of this team continues to flex the biggest muscle at times, and Flint just knows exactly how much room he has. Focuses all the way in. I mentioned Holland had 2 great catches at the wall. Flint now has a couple of nice catches at the wall this year. Here's MJ Melendez. He homered his last time up. And Melendez takes up for ball 1. And Devaney, who just gave that ball a ride, it looked like he was about to homer for the 4th time of this series. Melendez 1 for 3. He's up 9-5, top of the 8th inning. A 1-0. And it misses away. I mentioned this before. The bullpen of the Bees, during the last 6 games, an ERA of $1.69, but it has just really been so strong as of late. And guys like Jack Dashwood, who've had such great improvements along the year, 2-0. And just missed the top of the zone, 3 balls and no strikes. But Jack did have a rough outing against Sugar Land a couple weeks ago. Gave up 4 runs in 1 2/3 of an inning. 3-0. That's low, ball 4. But Dashwood, in the early part of the year, it was really tough. I mean, he had 1 outing, he gave up 3 earned without recording an out. He gave up 5 earned in just 2/3 of an inning. He's been improving greatly throughout the season. So a 1-out walk here to MJ Melendez. It'll bring up Tyler Gentry. 9-5 Salt Lake. 1 out, 1 on. Big hole right side. Comes the pitch to Gentry. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Gentry grounded into a 4-3 double play. Walked, and he also flied out to center tonight. Sidestepping to the lead at first, Melendez. 3 for 4 stealing bases. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Long hold, Dashwood exhales. The 0-2 downstairs. It's a ball and 2 strikes now. The Salt Lake Bees tonight, after that last inning, they're 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position. The Storm Chasers 0 for 4 in that department tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch to Gentry. Dribbled up the third base side, foul. Hustling to get it was Chucky Robinson, just in case. Count stays at 1-2. The Bees took the first 2 games of this series. They were close, 6-4, 6-5. And tonight it looked like it was going to be much of the same. Most of the innings that were scored on were fairly low, like last night. Well, that was not the case in the later innings tonight. Pitch is high, 2-2. That 6-run inning for the Bees. The Storm Chasers have had a barrage of home runs. They have 4 on the night as a team. But it's the Bees up 9-5. Here comes the 2-2. Gentry swings and misses, strike 3. 2-out runner at first. They'll bring up the catcher, Brian O'Keefe. O'Keefe tonight, flied out to right, grounded into a 5-4-3 double play and grounded out to short. 9-5 Salt Lake. Melendez at first. Dashwood, long look at him and deals. It's popped up right side, foul ground, giving chase Cavadas, running towards the side track by the tarp, circling left, can't get it too far from him, and Moore was closing on it from second base, but it drops foul. The count's 0-1. This is a tough one for Cavadas because that's just straight above his head and behind him, and he turns around running, looking straight up the whole way, trying to track that ball. And there's not a ton of foul ground here at this ballpark, but that one certainly landed in a spot where it had enough cushion between the foul line and the warning track. Here comes the 0-1. Line to center field. Coming on is Flint, sprinting inward, sliding. No, he's going to be able to stay on his feet to make the catch. Looked like he was about to slide down, but Flint Flint with the catch at the wall and a sprint to close the inning. Tucker Flint. Just a fabulous player for this Bees team. Adding on to another great highlight for him this year. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 80s in the 8th. The fans enjoying that as the Bees up by the score of 9-5 here tonight. And the number 1 prospect for the Bees, Christian Moore, is going to lead off this bottom of the 8th. And Moore, a triple shy of the cycle. He singled in the first and stole a base. Singled in the third and scored. Solo home run, the first in his AAA career in the 5th. A ground rule double. That played it 2, and he stole third in the 7th. Great ovation from the fans as he's making his way into the box. Ryan Hendricks out there for another inning of work. The Bees, my goodness, they brought 11 to the plate in that 7th. Moore in the 8th takes low for ball 1. Moore has electrified this crowd tonight. What a great all-around game, too. The defense, the base running, you name it, he's had it. The 1-0's line over the second baseman's head, Wilson, but he reaches up and naps it out of the air. Wilson robbed him from a 5-for-5 performance. It was above the head of Wilson, and he had to climb the ladder and go up with everything he had to take that away. So Wilson spoils the party here tonight and keeps the only blemish on Christian Moore of the evening. Nice play by Wilson. Cavadas takes for ball 1. Well, still a 4-for-5 night for Christian Moore, including 3 runs batted in. Here's Nico Cavadas. Takes a called strike, 1-1. Cavadas with a single in the 3rd, but struck out in the 1st, the 5th, and the 7th tonight. In the dirt, counts 2-1. The Bees with 2 in the 3rd took a 2-0 lead. Omaha tied at 2-2 in the 5th. 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. The Bees took that 3-2 lead on Christian Moore's solo homer. And then Omaha back-to-back-to-back homers in the 6th, jumped up 5-3. But it was 6 runs in the 7th inning for the Bees, and they lead 9-5. Pitches outside, ball 4. Nico Cavadas is aboard. Nico Cavadas now with a walk in 8 of his last 9 games. He increased his on-base streak to 19 games tonight. Here's J.D. Davis. Davis without a hit tonight, but a very important walk back in the 7th and would come around to score. Multi-homer game for him last night, the first in his AAA career since 2018. Quick meeting at the mound with the catcher O'Keefe and Hendricks the pitcher. Fernandez tonight, 2/3 of an inning for Omaha. 2 hits, 4 runs all earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Pitch to Davis in there for a strike, 0-1. Davis, who's reached base twice tonight, reached base 4 times last night. Davis with a vicious cut. He comes up empty, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Bottom of the 8th. Bees up 9-5. The lead at first, Nico Cavadas. Davis, heavy cut, but came up empty again. Strike 3, 97. On the heat from Hendricks.
Number 35, Chad Stevens.
Here's Chad Stevens. He's brought in 2 so far on the night. An RBI single in the 7th. That was his first hit of the game. And a big moment for the Bees as they were starting to pour it on. Stevens, right-hand batter ready. Stevens takes called strike. Boy, Hendricks just going with the old number 1 here, 97 again. Pitch, up and in. He counts it a ball and a strike. Chad Stevens. 3 multi-hit games in his last 4, trying to make it 4 out of 5. He takes it at the top of the zone, first strike, 1-2. And for Omaha, coming up in the top of the 9th, it'll be Nick Prado, Tyler Tolbert, and John Rave. Stevens reaching the bat back ready. The lead at first, Cavadas. 1-2 is popped up foul behind home plate, not a play. Do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. The Bees have taken the first 2 of this series. They have not won the first 3 games of any series this year. The pitch. Line to the right side, off the netting, above the tarp. And then foul ball makes it 1-2 again. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. And it was a long run there for Caglianone, the right fielder. I keep saying they need a ball boy and ball girl down the right and left field lines of this ballpark. There's too many of those that go out into no man's land. 1-2. Stevens takes high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big hole right side. The weekend portion of the series coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Stevens takes it inside. It got him. He also went back and got home plate umpire Steven Jashinsky. So he's okay. As both first base umpire Tanner Moore and Steven Rios Jr. come running in. The catcher O'Keefe checking on him as well. Take a look at the replay. Clips Stevens. Goes right back. Kind of gets him on a weird part of the mask down by the jawline area. As he's being attended to right now by Jonathan Fierro. He's all smiles. He's read his lips the entire time saying, yeah, I'm okay. He's kind of giving it a grimace. And a quick look, and he's good to go. He's going to stay in the game. Crowd appreciating him. So Stevens aboard with a hit by pitch. Cavadas moves up to second. Here's Chucky Robinson. Chucky Robinson tonight. Walked in the second. An RBI single in the third. Struck out in the 6th. Struck out in the 7th. Looking to pad this lead here in the 8th. The Bees have a 9-5 lead. The lead at second, Cavadas. Stevens is at first. The pitch to Chucky. Takes high for ball 1. Chucky Robinson, guy that has that great veteran presence and great feel about him. I've said he's kind of a throwback. He's got this old school feel and vibe about him all the time. Robinson grounds one sharply to the shortstop. It's Devaney, throws to second. The short route to Wilson covering, and the inning is done. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left. Last call here for Omaha. Top of the 9th inning, Bees up 9-5. Nick Prado, Tyler Tolbert, John Rave. The 8-9 hitters coming to the plate for the Omaha Storm Chasers. Luke Murphy, new pitcher on for the Salt Lake Bees. And for Murphy, stepping in with his team up by 4. 0-1 on the year, an ERA of 5.14. 14 innings, 8 runs, all earned. 8 walks, 19 strikeouts. And opponents hitting .286 against Luke Murphy. Tonight, the starting pitcher was Dakota Hudson. Faced the minimum 3 in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd innings. Kept it clean until the 5th, and he gave up a pair there. He was tagged with all 5 runs that Omaha has scored. The bullpen, with Briseño, a scoreless 7th. Dashwood, a scoreless 8th. Murphy, trying to keep it quiet here in the 9th. Nick Prado doubled back in the 7th. And he also walked in the 5th. He's reached base twice. He has scored once, and now he may have a comms issues. Chucky Robinson is out there to take a look at it with Luke Murphy. We'll make sure that they get on track. And while we have a second, we remind you, same 2 teams tomorrow. Tomorrow night, It's going to be a good time here at the ballpark. We have a special drone show coming up after the game. You can come celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, May 23rd. We're going to honor the voices, stories, and traditions that shape our cities. Get your tickets at slbs.com. Be sure to stay after the game and enjoy an AAPI-themed drone show. It'll be a wonderful night. So get your tickets for that. Don't forget about Salute to Service Saturday night, fireworks afterwards, and the kids get to run the bases after the game. First pitch to Prado. This is inside for ball one. Luke Murphy, the fourth pitcher employed tonight for the Salt Lake Bees. The 1-0. Prado takes high, 2 balls and no strikes. For Luke Murphy, it's his first appearance since back on May 17th at Sacramento. Pitched a scoreless 8th, 1-2-3 inning. Inside corner, a strike. That's just what this bullpen has been doing as of late. The bullpen had 10 consecutive innings without giving up an earned run. They gave up 3 total earned runs in that series over 19 innings. 2-1 is scorched to center. But Flint is out there in range, tracking back on it, makes the catch about 15 feet shy of the track. Deepest part of the ballpark, out number 1. Well, Flint has been busy out there lately. 2 putouts back in the 8th and 1 to start the 9th. 1 out, nobody on, 9-5 Salt Lake. Here's the number 9 hitter, Tyler Tolbert. Tolbert tied this game in the 5th with a 2-run homer. It was his 2nd home run of the year. He's 2 for 3 on the night. Murphy from the stretch, although nobody on. And excuse me, check swing bouncer over to the first base on deck circle. And it's 0-1. Tolbert stepping back out to reset. Home plate umpire Steven Jashinsky will wipe off the plate. The Bees are having a tough time closing down games. They're having a tough time being as consistent as they wanted to be. But you could see a lot of the winning ingredients that were in place. You know, 1 is outside, 1-1. This team has 7 losses this season when they had the lead in the 7th inning or later. 2 of them with a lead in the 9th inning or later. Here's the 1-1. Called strike 1-2 to Tolbert. The Bees had some serious heartbreakers. A couple of them on the road against Albuquerque. At Sacramento. Here, closing out the series against Oklahoma City. Late 2-run lead against Reno in this ballpark. And with all of that happening, they've been able to put together a great stretch. That's rocketed out to right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Hustling over to try and cut it off is Sanchez. He gloves it, but has to come back to get it. And scampering into second with a 1-out double is Tyler Tolbert. Possible they give that a single in an error, but I definitely wouldn't call it that. I thought Sanchez had a long way to go, and that was tough to try and stab it. And it was going to be tough anyway with the speed of Tolbert. And I am not the official scorer, so I will definitely go on what they give, but Tolbert, indeed, it is a double. Correct call. John Rave, 0 for 4 tonight. After he is 4 for 5 in the series coming into tonight. High bouncer right to the first baseman. Cavadas on 1 bounce, takes it 5 steps to the bag for out number 2. Moving to third on the play is Tolbert. And Rave, 0 for 5.
Second baseman,
Peyton Wilson, a couple of walks on the night, grounded out to second twice. Wilson 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Bees up 9-5, 2 out, top of the 9th. The pitch. It's low for ball 1. Wilson looking for his first hit of the night. He started this season with a 14-game hit streak. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 down. The pitch. Popped him up. Foul ground. Robinson going after it. So's Davis, the third baseman. Davis got it. In foul ground with a catch. 9-5 the final. And the winner is Salt Lake. That's 6 out of 7. And 3 in a row. They clinch at least a split here this week. But after starting this series so well, they look to get greedy this weekend. A game on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday coming your way. Make sure to join us on KJazz tomorrow. We have the games on KMYU Saturday and Sunday. A stellar, star-level performance by Christian Moore. He played like a #1 prospect. 4 for 5. A 2-run double, a solo homer, 2 singles, 2 stolen bases. Fine work with the glove to go with it. And the Salt Lake Bees just continue to play great baseball. Andres Briseño got the win. He's 1-0. Taking the loss tonight was Fernandez. Always a winner, Sammy Miller. She's downstairs right now.
Thank you so much, Tony. Joining me now is Christian Moore. Christian, congratulations on your first AAA home run. What was going on in your mind as you were clearing those bases?
That was pretty cool, not gonna lie. I was just super excited, talking to the boys, in the dugout about it, and it happened, and I was super blessed.
And you hit that ball. Oh, we have a tiny bit of water from Carter. Of course it's Carter, not the whole jug this time. But you hit that ball very deep, the deepest part of the ballpark. So what did you see on that pitch?
I saw a hanging breaking ball, and like I said, just try to put a good swing on it, and just get the rally going.
And what a night that you had. You went 4 for 5 at the plate with 3 runs. So what do you think allowed you to be so successful in the box?
Just talking with Zoe, getting in my position early and just, understanding what they're trying to do to me and just being patient.
And you were also extremely aggressive along the base pass. So how do you think that changes the dynamic of the game and you had those 2 stolen bags?
That's something I want to add to my game. And, this year I'm really trying to push the limit. And, it definitely changed the game, getting in scoring position. And then, we get a base knock and I score easy. So that's part of the game, just trying to, pass the bats and just keep it going.
And you said it in the dugout. You guys are constantly talking about adjustments and certain things that you're seeing from the pitchers. So what does it mean to you to have teammates like Scott Kingery and Nico Cavadas share their wealth of knowledge?
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I said, in spring training, we built that relationship so that now it's a lot easier to talk about things and, understand, we're a team and we want to win and we all want to succeed, so why not help each other?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and let's do it again tomorrow.
Yes, let's do it again tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much, Sammy. Boy, the Bees are just red hot right now. And just finding different ways to win, but most of it has been the same. It's been quality starts a lot of times out of the starting pitchers, and while Hudson didn't have a quality start tonight, still went 6 innings, giving up the 5 earned, but the bullpen took care of the rest, and this bullpen just continues to nail it down shut. Briseño with a scoreless inning, Dashwood with a scoreless inning, Murphy with a scoreless inning, and the offense coming through with the timely hitting time and time again. Moore with the game-tying 2-run double, a 6-run 7th inning for the Bees. This place was tense and a little bit nervous. 4 home runs tonight for Omaha, including back-to-back-to-back. Jack Caglianone had his first AAA home run, the #1 prospect with Omaha, but it was Christian Moore putting on a show from everywhere out there on that field. And the fans go home not only happy about a win, but very entertained. This is an entertaining team to watch, so we hope to see you soon. Make sure to get your tickets at slbs.com. That's going to do it for us here tonight. A big thanks to Parker Long for his work back there in the studios. Today's game was produced by Brady Covington, directed by Eli Iverson. On the replay, Megan Kennedy. And on the cams, Aaron Peterson, Malcolm Thorpe, Scott Warren, and Cody Sagers. Our thanks to Allie Brathwaite for her work on the stats, and our thanks to you for watching. I'm Tony Parks saying good night, and thank you for joining us at the ballpark in America First Square. Final score once again, 9-5, and the winner is Salt Lake. This has been a presentation of Bees Baseball on the KSL Sports Zone.